they doing?
Playing. Overgrown wains, you see. Have you any children, Geralt?
None.
Oh, yes. Forgot witches are sterile. Well, don't just stare at me. Tell me what brings you.
Vladimir sends his love.
You spoke to him. Impossible.
Did more than that. Fulfilled your wish. And talked to him extensively. Curious what he had to say? Fulfilled your wish. Your dead brother had himself one more day like those of old.
Very easy to say. But have you got any proof?
I do.
Vladimir's hand. It's unmistakable. You've done well, Witcher. Need something else? That's better. All right. What do you have for me?
Max Bersodi's house, as requested.
The papers. Where are they?
Left them in the vault. You wanted the house, you got the house. Never mentioned its contents.
You're a quick study. Already as tricky as Odin himself. Keen to ridicule a man. Do you know what I and the company do with your type?
Dunno. Ask for legal advice? Looks to me like you might need some. You signed the contract, Olgierd. I'm just fulfilling its terms, to the letter. Unhappy? Hell, should have chosen your words more carefully.
Yes, I should have. I assume you came to an agreement with HoS. Shame. A right horse in that one.
His brother Ewald was worse.
Was?
Horst killed him with his own hands.
It's progress.
Horst's brother. Did you know about him?
I should think so. Ewald was famous in certain circles.
Which ones?
The kind noble witches don't usually associate with. He murdered for coin, no questions, without batting an eye. Always extravagantly, though. If not for his damn surname, I believe I'd have invited him to join the company.
Why did you even need those papers?
To sink the Borsodis, naturally. You see, I learned of an interesting clause in old man Maximilian's will. It states that his sons must meet and shake hands in agreement at least once a year at Bellatane. Failing that, the auction house must be auctioned off. The proceeds to go to Vilmeria's hospital.
Guess the old man sensed what might happen.
Aimed to deliver those papers to the right hands. Borsodi would have landed in the streets, and the hospital would have gotten the funds it needs to treat orphans and beggars pro bono.
Awfully noble of you, showing so much concern for the needy.
I couldn't give a rat's ass about the needy. Made her wither and disappear along with the city. I wanted one thing. Revenge.
The Borsodis. What's your gripe? Get kicked out of an auction?
Worse. They evicted me from my home. Are you really interested?
Wouldn't have asked if I wasn't.
Ha! Cheeky as ever. My family, they took on some debt. A poor investment in a sawmill. A bad crop one year. A lawsuit lost. You know how it is. When it rains, it pours. We needed but a few weeks to recover. But Horst Borsodi had acquired our debt. All of it. Demanded it be repaid immediately. I pleaded. I begged. I tore open my shirt at his threshold. Ugh, it was like talking to a wall. I went to the auction, saw those perfumed pricks buy my father's sword, my mother's death mask, my brother's horse tack. Ah, Horst earned a pretty pile selling our mementos.
No surprise the animosity you feel for him.
That was but the start. My Iris's parents learned of my family's misfortune, and our betrothal was no more. They found her another suitor, one from beyond the sea. The anger I felt, I thought I'd gone mad. Went to the tavern, drank a round, a second, abroad, then had another tankard. And then, I asked the wrong bloke for help.
What happened then?
What happened then, Witcher, was one big stinking pile of shite. Well, why do you stand there? Do you need something still?
Keep wondering how you turned the Ophiri into a beast. The more I think about it, the more I'm sure it was no run-of-the-mill curse.
This professional curiosity, or nosiness as common as the clap?
Desire to improve. Information could prove useful down the line.
In the future, you under the delusion you'll complete your tasks, live happily ever after.
Remains to be seen. So for now, admit it. A mage helped you, right?
Give you a hint. You're not the only one to fulfill wishes around here.
Dim transformed the Ophiri? It was your wish?
Nay. It was my doing alone. But you're right. It was no ordinary curse. Though I'll say no more. A curse I uttered in a moment of rage, with no thought to it actually taking hold.
Tell me, how'd you meet the Ophiri you turned into a beast?
Aren't you a nosy one?
What's it matter? You like to talk about yourself.
That I cannot deny. Ophiri was a dauphin on a voyage through lands unknown, to learn of their cultures and customs. He fell for a lass. As it happened, this woman was already important to me. But at the time, I was now compared to a noble from a foreign land. So her parents promised her hand to the Ophiri, though she loved me. If you'd only seen his feeble attempts at charm. When she asked why he travelled disguised as a common merchant, he said he was like the frog from the fairy tale. One kiss from her, and he turned into a prince. Wanted to be a frog. Became a frog.
Your band. Chosen some interesting specimens.
Interesting? How so? Common carousers and roughnecks. Every last one.
Where'd you dig them up?
Some have been with me ages. Others I gathered on the road. And a few found me themselves. They're company for drink and sport at least. And ever since I began travelling with them, my old enemies have sat quiet as moles.
First time I've seen a saber like that. What's its origin?
A fear. It was a gift. Any soft-armed craven can hang a blade from his belt, prance about feigning danger, but my saber's a promise. If I reach for it, heads will roll. Mere sight of it quells the urge to duel, in shavers eager to face Olgierd von Everek, the infamous outlaw.
My medallion seems to think it's magic.
It thinks, eh? And I think you've never seen a better weapon.
Third wish. Time you stated it.
A moment, Geralt. I must see to something. Then we'll chat. You there! Yank the herring out the barrel.
Come on, none of this dallying.
Now, ready to listen? Or do you still not give two shites about what I've got to say?
I'm ready. I'm listening.
Good. You'll return to your lord and tell him as follows. His demand was brazen. Hurt me to the core. For I was brought up to respect the sacred law of hospitality. And I shall not bend to an uncouth boor's dictum. Understood? I will pay him a visit shortly to test his willingness to adapt. So you ride off and announce me. And don't spare your horse. Got it?
I got it.
Give this man a mount and leave him go. Come with you. We must talk outside. The Afiri believe one should only discuss important matters out of doors, with the gods as witnesses.
Barrel. What was that about?
On the way here, we stopped for nourishment at a tavern belonging to one Lord Dauntless. We enjoyed ourselves as one does at an inn, raucously. Our antics were not to the liking of this Dauntless. Sent a man to warn us that if we were ever to return, we would hang.
You burned the inn down?
I left ample compensation with the innkeep. But it seems the rapscallion neglected to mention this to his lord. But that's of little import. What matters is someone called me a whoreson and threatened to kill me. It was one of those threats that sound like an invitation. I intend to accept it. Return to those parts.
Must have made quite a few enemies along the way. Maybe not today and not tomorrow, but someday someone will find a way to take you down.
And that should trouble me why? I feel no fear, no regret. The wise men of Oxenfurt claim there are no gods. After death, there is only the void. I've known this void already. Death holds no surprises.
Fulfilled 2 of your wishes. Time I learned the 3rd.
Confident, aren't you? Proud, sure of your strengths. Fearless.
3rd task, if you don't mind.
Mutations. They stripped you of emotion. Tell me, have you ever loved? I mean, truly loved?
Yeah, I've loved. Can we get to the matter at hand?
Perhaps instead we ought to sit down inside. Have a good chat over some fiery water.
We'll drink once the job's done.
Afraid that's impossible. Succeed and that's the end of me. Fail and you'll not be back.
3rd wish, still waiting to hear it.
Aye, aren't you stubborn? Fine. Listen well. I had a wife once. The day I saw her last, I gave her a rose. A violet one. Bring me that bloom. Wouldn't mind reminding myself what it looks like.
When was that? How long's it been? Flowers wilted and turned to dust by now.
You wished to hear a wish. Now you have. Fulfill it. I ride now to visit this Dauntless, but one of my men will remain here. He'll know how to find me. That is, of course, should you succeed.
Least you could tell me where your wife is.
In my old manor, east of Martin Foy's farmstead. I'd wish you Godspeed, but, well, you understand, I'm sure. Goodbye, Geralt.
Kendrick. Kendrick, you there?
Not so loud.
Ah! God, scared me after.
Not so loud, I said. Fog's not natural. Could be something in there hiding. Foglets or air nymphs, for example. Don't want to attract them. Believe me.
Foglets? Oh, sweet mother Melitterly, why'd I ever come here?
Good question. What are you doing here?
See, Kendrick and me, we thought man has been empty all these years, full of fine things going to rot.
So you're a thief.
Thieves steal from the living. What's the harm taking from the dead? Kendrick went to open the door. I stood watch. Suddenly heard his lamp smash. Then nothing. Quiet. Called out to him, but... What was that? One of them foglets you spoke of?
No.
Phew. That's a stone off my...
I'll see what that was and look for your partner. You?
I ain't about to wait around. I'm out of here.
Ice cold. Stone cold. The grave here. What are you doing? A place like this? Best shoot before you get out. A busted lamp, and the ground's trampled. Somebody dragged something this way. A body? Someone dragged a wounded man through here. Prints from clean boots. Leave from the back of the garden. That's what's wrong, Kitty. This place. What's that? That pain. Must have been the other things. Graves, unmarked, laid out in rows like garden beds. Hey. Hear me? Other thief. Body's mutilated. Who are you? Damn. No eyes or nostrils, deformed organs. Damn thing had no right to be alive.
Well, philosophers do still debate what it means to be alive, exactly.
Normally I'd be shocked, but not after what I just saw. Who are you two?
Clearly not animals. Think of us as friends of the house.
What's with the show? The pretense that you're animals. You couldn't have warned me?
No. We're obliged to maintain discretion.
So why talk to me at all?
Why? Well, we get so few chances to talk to humans, and we're curious to know what brought you.
Gonna need a better answer than that.
Later.
What about this thing? What can you tell me? Friend of yours?
We called him the Caretaker.
Doesn't look like any creature I've ever seen. Where'd it come from?
From very far away. He was summoned to guard Lady Iris and the home. He tended the garden, took care of unwanted guests.
Very far away. Meaning where exactly?
The name of this place would mean naught to you.
You know the master of the house, the owner?
Olgierd von Everett? Yes. We know him, but he left, and his wife became mistress of the house.
Great. So, Lady von Everett home? Could you announce me, say she has a guest?
Why do you wish to see her?
I'm here to get the violet rose Olgierd gave Iris just before he left.
Iris is inside, in the bedchamber upstairs. Take his key. It opens the rear door.
Guess I'll make my own introductions. So, how should I address you?
As you did now. We'd rather keep our names to ourselves.
What the hell? Gotta be careful. What the hell was that?
Intruder!
Happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. Fire damage. Interesting. Show me what you got. gotta be her. Damn it.
You wish to see her? Here she is.
A man should frame his wishes carefully. It forestalls disappointment.
This some sick joke. Why didn't you tell me she was dead right away?
You didn't ask.
And why hasn't anyone buried her?
We can't. As for the caretaker, the one you cut down, while still alive, she ordered him to stay away from her for all time.
How did she die? Don't see any wounds, evidence of a fight.
Her heart burst.
Meaning what? A heart attack?
No, it simply burst.
Find that hard to believe.
Yet that's precisely what happened. One day Iris locked the front door, lay down here and died. From grief, from loneliness.
The deeper I get into this, the more I gotta wonder. Why are you even helping me?
We were summoned to serve Iris von Everec. Our mistress died, but that did not free us from her service.
Got it. You want to leave this place, leave these bodies?
Surprised?
No, not at all. Her ghost's restless, angry, attacks intruders. Know why?
Lady von Everec has endured much hardship. She's unaccustomed to guests and not fond of strange folk.
She can't hear us.
Seems I gotta speak to Iris's ghost.
It's no easy task to contact the mistress. Rage and bitterness fill her.
Got my ways. To make contact with Iris, I gotta bury her body. But that caretaker's macabre little cemetery won't do. Too much blood, too much fear.
She spent much time in the front garden.
Maybe there.
Wait. Take this key. It opens the front door.
Good dog.